everyone, this is Action Max TV. We are here with the author of the year, Miss Letitia Morris. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, it's been a day, but I know that everything is going to tell us about the book.
This is my baby. You know, it's my first one. The book is called Help, I'm Dealing with a Sexually Transmitted Disease in the Church. When I was younger, I was molested.
Okay.
And from then on, I had these lustful feelings, and I didn't know what to do with those things, those type of emotions. And I interpreted that into having sex with different people.
Okay.
Until I ran across somebody that I really liked. He was nice looking, he was educated, absolutely. I just thought, Lord, thank you for sending my husband. He ended up giving me an STD, a sexually transmitted disease, and I was cured from it, but I went on this dating cycle of dating people that were just like him. And I'm like, Lord, okay, I keep going in circles and doing the same thing, and God came to me and said, well, until you deal with the spirit attached to you, then, you're going to repeat that cycle.
I read in your book about how your mother and your father both dealt with drug addiction, right? How did that affect you, even while dealing with the lust? Then you had to deal with that also. So how did you deal with all that at one time?
That part of my life was very, very hard because as a child, you don't know that addiction is something that is almost an uncontrollable type of thing. So I interpret my mom going out dealing drugs and selling drugs, and my father using drugs, to mean that they didn't love us, that they chose drugs over us. So I felt that I would go and find love in a different place, because I didn't feel that they loved us because of this drug addiction that they couldn't seem to break. And that was very, very hard for me and my siblings.
And your father's a pastor, right?
Yes.
So how did that all come about?
Well, he's my daddy, but he's technically my stepfather.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, in the book I talk about my mom dealing with a boyfriend who was arrested.
Right.
And eventually they both got saved. They decided to change their life. And, he said that God called him to be a pastor. And we turned out from the house on Guthrie, the kids on Guthrie, to the pastor's kids.
Right. So, it's such a blessing.
It is.
It's such a blessing. Let's talk about just like the molestation that you said that you dealt with in the church. Let's talk about like just how it goes on in the church and how some young people don't know how to even relay their feelings. So let's just talk about how did you deal with it at that point in time?
Oh my, that was, I believe, probably the hardest part of my life, because everybody was so excited at the church, everybody had all this energy, and I couldn't break free because I was looking at my predator in the face every Sunday. It was hard for me to say anything because he had just been released from jail. He had went to jail for statutory rape, and then the charges were dropped. So the whole church was rejoicing, and everybody was celebrating. Then he started doing those things to me. I felt that if I said something, that I would, that people would think that I was lying. So how I dealt with it was I just let him do whatever it is he wanted to do and dealt with the pain afterwards. My friend was also being molested by him, so that was kind of like my go-to person. When it happened to me, I went to her and confided in her, and then vice versa. It was hard. I blame God because it happened at the church.
Right.
Like, these are supposed to be your people, and this is what's happening to me. It went on for about maybe 7 years, all the way up into my teenage years, and I just stopped going to the church. I stopped praying like I usually do. I stopped worshiping because I was in fear. Yeah, and that's the hard part. It's the silence of it is one thing that a lot of communities and a lot of churches deal with, because we don't know how to deal with that. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to do, so we don't do anything. And that's definitely not the answer.
While writing this book, what is the one thing that you feel like that you've overcome, that you was like really delivered from? Because as a writer, I know as you write, deliverance comes. So what was one of the things that you feel like you was just like really was dealing with, but you got delivered from?
I would say my silence.
Okay.
It took me 2 years to release this book because I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of the judgment behind it. Okay, well, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you, do something about it? Why didn't you tell your family? I was silent. I was scared to speak out. But writing this gave me that sense of freedom that it's okay. You're not the only one that has dealt with that. And then even afterwards, people that have read it already has came to me and said, okay, this is what happened to me. And now that your story is out, I feel free to share mine. So my silence is definitely something that I had to be delivered from, and I have been.
What is the one thing that you want people to walk away from after reading the book?
With the sense of you're not by yourself, that, we are saved, we are Christians, we believe in Jesus Christ, absolutely. But we still have some of the same struggles as you. We go through things like you, but the only difference is we know the source to get our lives changed. We know who can change it all in a moment, and that's one thing that I want people to understand, is that Jesus is the answer for everything. That all the situations that we go through and are dealing with, God is the answer, ultimately, in the end.
That's true. Talk about your clothing line.
Oh. I recently started a t-shirt line called Kingdom Clothing.
Okay.
It's just right now in the beginning stages. We plan to launch it June 1st of this year. And we have a website up. So all the t-shirts that we, design will be on the website.
How can you get the book?
From you can get it from www.misstish.com, or you can get it from Amazon.com. MissTish.com is MZZTISH.com.
Any encouraging words that you want to leave with the people, our young adults of 16 to 25?
That I love y'all. And I pray that you get the book, and I pray it's an encouragement to you and to your family, and just feel free to live your dreams and tell your story the way it really is.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing the interview with me. I appreciate it so much. Action Max TV, we are on the scene.